ManJajizelComics.com.
Hi.
If you're into comics, you may be into slabs, aka comics that are graded and in a holder. One of those companies that is most known for that is CGC, and they're having an issue. So CGC Comics issued a statement on holder tampering controversy. Hundreds of comics were impacted by a recent scam. CGC has released a statement promising to help those involved. CGC, the largest grading company for comic books, has released a statement in response to a scandal that broke last week on social media. After a number of content creators on Instagram and YouTube discovered apparent fraudulent sales of graded comics, CGC launched an internal investigation. They came back today with an announcement on Instagram saying that they estimated a few hundred comics are affected. And they'll be working with collectors to make sure anyone who was affected is made whole. They have yet to release a complete list of the books affected. A number of comics appear to have been reholdered and sold for inflated prices in recent months, including many on the same eBay store, Comic Selects, which has since been closed. CGC promised to deliver a full list of affected books soon and pledged to work with those affected. Nevertheless, this is likely the biggest challenge of CGC's credibility that the company has ever faced while they are investigating the reholdering scam perpetrated by this one high roller. Fans have started to question how many other people out there are pulling the same stunt on a small scale. On a small enough scale that it doesn't provoke suspicion. The CGC group is aware of the Certified Collectibles group is aware of an incident involving an individual tampering with CGC comic holders. Certified Collectibles group, which includes Certified Guarantee Company, is aware of an incident involving an individual tampering with CGC comic holders. Based on our initial review, we believe that the incident affects a few hundred comic books. CGC exists to protect the community, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, controversy...
not 2,000 Teslas.
The controversy started earlier this month when Instagram comics influencer, the 99 newsstand, discovered an apparent discrepancy involving a high-grade copy of ASM 252. The issue was sold for $15,000, marked as a 9.8 graded Mark Jewelers newsstand variant of the issue, which is super rare.
Holy fuck.
What 9.9 newsstand noticed was the book's certificate number was tied to a 9.8, but not a Mark Jewelers variant, just a regular newsstand. The rarity of the Mark Jewelers was a big part of what drove the price up so high. After some digging, 9.9 newsstand suggests that it was likely somebody had found a way to replace the 9.8 newsstand with a lower graded Mark Jewelers newsstand, then resubmit it to CGC in order to artificially create a 9.8 Mark Jewelers. At the end of the day, the seller could sell the book for a lot more money and sell a 9.8 sitting at home that they could resubmit and have regraded under a new number. Shortly thereafter, the YouTuber Automatic Comics found a graded CGC copy of The Incredible Hulk 181 that appeared to have been reholdered. Whereas the Spider-Man book just looked suspicious, Automatic Comics was able to track down the specific copies of the Hulk that he believes were involved. This led to a flood of new findings by various comic book collectors, speculators, and YouTubers. The eBay account responsible for the Hulk sale was quickly shut down after being flooded with bad feedback and refund requests. The scam that has been detected is especially notable in that it requires a lot of upfront capital. You have to have 2 high-graded copies of a sought-after book in order to make it work. Still, Manu from the 9.9 newsstand says it's something that could snowball quickly if not caught. It depends on how quick you turn around each scam book, because you can invest $5,000, turn it into 20, and be freed up to do it times 4 on the next go-around. The capital increase actually adds up quite quickly if you move fast. The specific verbiage of the response is interesting as well. CGC promises to make people whole for losses arising from any failures in our service. That could limit the number of recipients to those whose comics were sent in for reholdering, while leaving out any victims whose books didn't pass through CGC hands after potentially tampering took place. Yeah, so that's a pretty incredible find by the YouTubers, or the 9.9, to detect the scam. Even with, so each CGC has a serial number, and you can look up that serial number. But they were finding, those sales, those 2 comic book holders had the same serial number because they were getting reholdered and reused. It's a pretty good scam. To make a lot more money. I actually wonder how long this has been going on for, given that they just found this out now. Yeah, there might be more to come. I don't know what CGC is going to do, what they mean by making them whole, making people whole. Are they going to refund the cost of the book they bought that was reholdered? Like, so if that person paid $15,000 for the 9.8, was it a 9.8? Yeah, 9.8 graded Mark Jewelers, where it's really, and then what they got was a regular 252 newsstand, and the difference is like 10 grand. Is CDC gonna give that guy who bought that 10 grand to make the difference?
That's crazy.
Like, it added quick for CGC too. I mean, they probably make millions of dollars a month, but yeah, I don't buy a ton of slabs, and I have sent away before for some of my books to get slabs. It's kind of a pain in the butt process when you live in Canada. Shipping is crazy expensive if you want to do it. So if you're going to do it, you better make sure you're doing it with books that are worth it. The local comic shop here does not do that. So if I wanted to have a comic book shop send it away so it's a bit cheaper, the closest one is Brantford for me, which is like, an hour and a half away. So there's no point to that either. Okay, well, let us know if you've been scammed and what you think, and if you buy slabs, and how much money you've lost on buying scam slabs. Anyways, this is Matt, Yosel Comics. Thanks for watching. Later.